And then we have two columns here. On the left-hand side, we write that which I need. This could be a being, an object, a situation, a substance, an activity. And on the right, we write what will be missing if I do not have that. Well, security, happiness, meaningfulness, self-worth, pleasure, or other things which are not written here. You don't have to be limited to what is written here. No one is going to tell you that you have to overcome an addiction or an attachment. That is your choice. You can make here a list of 30 addictions and then say, I don't want to get free from any of those. I like the way I am. That's your choice. It's not my choice. It's not the choice of this group. Every person will have to decide for himself if certain addictions are creating problems in his life at this point or not. We have hundreds of addictions. And we can only work on a few at a time. So we're not trying to say at this point that we're going to leave everything, we're going to go off into a cave and we're going to live without any clothing in this cave. See which addictions are creating negative emotions in your life at this time. This is the question. Behind every negative emotion, there is some addiction. There is something that I want which I'm not getting. It could be love, it could be affection, it could be understanding, it could be money, or to have a child, or to not have an illness. Whatever it is, I am unhappy, I have negative emotions when I don't have something that I want. Or the opposite, I have something that I don't want, which is the same thing. Down below, there's two more questions. Now, encircle the attachments from which you would like to free yourself from at this stage of your life. At this stage. In these weeks or months that we have in front of us. And 3, why would you like to get free from those attachments? What is the negative effect of those attachments in your life? Are they destroying your health? Or your energy, or your relationships, or they're causing you to use a lot of time towards something which logically you feel is not so important. For example, the attachment to, an intense attachment to cleanliness and to order may cause some people to have obsessiveness with that and to lose 10 hours a day cleaning and putting order, so which means that very little time is left for creativity, for relationships, for enjoyment. Just one example. Every person has his own attachments which can drain large portions of his energy, and he may feel that there are other things that he wants to do with his life or her life, but is not able to do that because this addiction is holding him in this pattern of behavior. So the question is yours, the answer is yours. You will decide if and what addictions you would like to work on. We'll go back to this in a moment. When we begin to transform addictions into preferences, then our energy begins to rise to a higher level. Now, what's the difference between an addiction and a preference? When we are addicted to something, we are happy when we have it, and we are unhappy when we don't have it. We cannot be happy without it until we overcome the addiction. When we have a preference for something, we are happy when we have it, but we are okay when we don't have it. It is, we diminish the dependency. It doesn't mean that we become neutral and that we don't want anything. We know what we want, but we also know that we can live without it. You understand the difference? With the addiction, I believe I must have that, and there's no possibility of security or happiness without it. When it's a preference, I know I want it, and I will do whatever I have to do to get it, ethically, to get it. But I will be able to accept not having it if that's the way things turn out. That I will be able to live and be happy. I don't believe that my life will be destroyed, my life will be meaningless or unbearable if I cannot have it. That's the difference between an addiction and a preference. When we begin to transform our addictions into preferences, then the energy can start rising. And it goes into the fourth center, which is the heart center or the love center, in which for the first time in our lives, we begin to experience selfless love. It is, as the love that we have experienced, most of us until now, is not actually love. It's love combined, mixed with need. Often when we say, I love you, we mean I need you for security, I need you for pleasure, I need you for my self-affirmation. Because most of us are programmed that as a man, I am worthy if I have a woman, or if there's a woman who desires me. And as a woman, I am worthy if there's a man who desires me exclusively and doesn't love anybody else, but loves me more than he loves anyone else in the world. Then I am worthy. Then I feel my self-worth. And so our sense of self-worth is very dependent on feeling exclusive love from another person and being admired and accepted and receiving affection and various forms of expression of love from that person. And that is need and jealousy that we feel when that person shows love to another person, or hurt or anger when that person doesn't behave towards us in the way that we want, is not based on the love that we feel for that person, but it's based on what we need from that person and are not receiving. So we're going to have to change completely our conception of love and the way it's been given to us through television and movies and the various songs that we hear on the radio, especially in Greece, which are all, they present love as pain, love as suffering, love as need, love as I cannot live without you. This is not love. Love is the desire for the other to be complete and happy with whatever situation and with whomever that person needs to be complete and happy within himself. Just for that person to be well, that is love. I want that person to be well and happy, whatever he needs to be that way. That which creates our pain in relationships is what we need from others and are not receiving, which is affection, affirmation, their love for us, support, truth, various needs that we have to receive. So for the first time, that is, as we get free from the need for the other to give us security, to give us pleasure, to give us affirmation through his presence or through his behavior, we can now love him unconditionally. That is, independently of how he behaves and what he does. This is the first experience of true love. This is the fourth center of consciousness.